Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to day two of From Dating to I Do, ladies. Oh my goodness. I loved, absolutely loved receiving all of your comments, all the messages that you sent to me, to my team about how you felt on day one. It makes me so happy when the messages land the way that they do, that they're received the way that they're intended. It just warms my heart so much. And I'm just so happy that you're here with me again today. Whether you're here live, watching the replay, welcome. Please let me know in the chat how you're doing. If it's the first time that you're catching me, hello. My name is Sharza Parande. I'm a dating and relationship coach, and over the last 6.5 years, I've helped hundreds of women to find the love of their lives, get engaged, and get married to high quality men. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how to actually attract the high quality men, the husband quality man, the kind of guy that you desire, you dream of, the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Are you excited for that? Are you on board with that? Are you open to that? Let me know in the chat. Hello, Irene. Hello, Sonia. So good to see you and have you with us, my queen. And without further ado, let's get started. Hold on one second. I take that back. I just wanted to welcome those of you who joined Attract the One Journey from the bottom of my heart. I'm so excited to start this journey with you. There have been some questions that I will answer at the end of this conversation when we're done. So we're not going to go into that. But because of that, I'm extending the very, very early, super discounted price so that your questions are answered and you make an informed decision for yourself. So just wanted to welcome those of you who have already joined and welcoming, obviously, those of you who are going to be joining us today. I'm really excited about that. Okay? All right. So we are talking about how to attract a quality man, a high quality man. We're not talking about a guy that you're going to be casually dating. I'm not talking about a guy that you have a lot of fun with, although you can have fun with your high quality men, but we're talking husband material here. I'm speaking to women that are intentional with finding a type of love that they want to spend the rest of their life with. Because like I said in yesterday's live stream, that if you want to find somebody to just have fun with, casually date, a guy that is going to just do fun things with you, you very well can. And I'm not here to judge it, but this is not really going to apply and help with that. Yeah. But for those of you who are intentional to find a life partner, a man who's going to make an amazing husband for you, possibly a father to your children if you want to have children, or if you already have children, a man who's going to be your rock during the hard times. Yeah, the kind of guy that you tell me, what is the kind of guy that you want? Who is your dream man? A man who you feel safe with, perhaps when things get hard, you know that he's got your back, that he has your best interest at heart, that you, when you are in his presence, you can just let go and relax because you know he's got you. A man who is kind-hearted, reliable, honest, emotionally available, accountable, a provider. What kind, when it comes to when we're talking about your dream man, the guy that you want to spend the rest of your life with, put it in the chat. What are his qualities? What are the things that you want? Because if you know the attraction, the work of attraction, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call that, you know that the first step is to get super clear on what you want. Know what you want, because if you don't know what you want, how are we ever going to get there? If you don't know what it is that you're looking for, You're going to be just dating around aimlessly. You don't know what is a yes, what is a no. He's a steady. He's being lightness, and he brings lightness and joy. Interesting, Sonia. I like that. The feelings that you have around it. But that's one of the biggest issue that I find when I ask a woman when she comes in my world, and I wanna know what makes her say, yeah, he's the one for me. He's the kind of guy that I want. And it's not at the top of their head. They can't come up with it right away. They have to really think about it. And not that there is anything I want you to really think about it right now, but what happens is that if you're already in that sense that you want to find the one, you know what you're looking for, then it should be so clear to you from this point on that when you are on a date with a man, that when you feel those qualities, then you're open to exploring more with that person. And when there is a red flag, it's a no, then you know how to drop that situation immediately. The feeling that I have around it is the key. Yes, that's one of the things that I really want to emphasize in this conversation, that as a woman, you have this incredible power within you, this sense of intuition that every single woman has access to, that you could tune in and tap in, that nobody outside of you can actually tell you. Even when a woman works with me in a private container, when we're coaching together, I always make sure to let her know that I am here to reflect back and obviously share my guidance and share the things that I know. But I can never override a woman's intuition if she does not feel safe with a man. To say, no, continue with that. To say that no, this feeling that you're having, this feeling of this is a no, that this closeness that she feels on the inside. And when I say closeness, not up here out of fear or out of trauma, but there is like there's a in my body and I can't explain it. We trust that, but we really need to be able to access that part of us that as a woman that always speaks to us. But we are so busy having all of our energy so consumed by our thoughts, by our fears, by so much noise, by our phones, by all the things that we have to do as busy career women that are building empires or mothers, that we don't take the time to really pay attention, or we ignore it when we see a red flag, when we feel that there is a red flag. And this is the next thing that I want to go into, that when it comes to the attraction of the man of your dreams and knowing what you want, listing them out, whether it is you make your love list or you make your vision board, all that good stuff, there is a couple of things that stops a woman from actually having that relationship. How many of you here, and remember, my loves, in order to be able to chat with me, you have to be a subscriber to the channel, because I don't want anyone that is just coming here randomly to troll or, to cause chaos to be able to chat. So if you're here and if you're here to stay and you like to play with me, subscribe. And after 5 minutes, you'll be able to comment in the chat. But if you do, then this will be interactive. I will be able to expand on things that need to be expanded for you in order for you to learn. So subscribe and let me know. So I was going to ask you, how many of you in the past have created a love list or have sat down and said, this is what I want, this is what I desire to have in a man in a relationship? However, your dating experience really doesn't match that. I have created many. And has your dating experience, the kind of men that you attract, actually match it? Hello, Crystal. So good to have you, love. And if it doesn't match, there is a couple of things that I want you to pay attention to. The number one reason that it doesn't match a lot of times is because deep down there is a belief that says, I don't really think that a man like that even exists. This is too good to be true. This is all wishful thinking. And the men like that are already taken. That kind of a man won't be even interested in me. That's the second part. So first, the belief that that man doesn't even exist. Where I live, I can't come across a man like that. Where at my age, I can't find a man like that. At my age, it's not possible. I'm too old. I'm too young. Whatever that is. And then that's the second part. Thank you, Irene. Is that I am not good enough. I'm not worthy of such a man. When it comes to a man like that, why would they choose a woman like me? Why not go for someone that is younger? Why not go for someone that is prettier, more whatever you want to fill in the blank? So the second part of it is that I don't even believe that. First is I don't believe that that man exists. The second part is that I don't believe I'm worthy of a man like that. Now, the third part is more to do with the way that you take actions in the situation. So what I mean by that is that your actions, when it comes to what you say you want, is not consistent with what you say you want. You do things that are opposite of it. It could be you don't open yourself up to dating, you don't go on dating apps, you don't ask your married friends, their husbands, to if they have someone that is suitable, that is high quality to meet. You don't open yourself up. Actually, you don't go out in settings where there are men that they hang out there. You don't actually take any actions. It's just you say you want it. You say it would be really nice if I just come across a man like that. If a man like that would want to be with me. How many of you don't actually date openly? That you don't actively, with the intention that you have, the desire that you have, you don't take any actions. And if you are a kick-ass woman who has done a lot in her life when it comes to your careers, you tell me, have you ever been able to create anything in life if you personally haven't taken any actions? Yes, I believe that in the power of universe and attraction and all that miraculous stuff, it happens to me all the time. However, I do believe wholeheartedly that the universe will always respond to my energy if I'm completely a bystander in my love life. If I say I want this, but I do absolutely nothing and I go about my life and don't really look where I need to look, I'm not really allowing that to happen. If I say I want a relationship and when I come across men, I look away, I feel closed up, I don't have any sort of an invitation for them to approach me. How are they going to do it? If my friends try to set me up with someone with their husband and I say no to that, if I reject that, what message am I sending out into the universe? That no, no, no. I believe wholeheartedly in the universe will always respond to you. In order for it to give you what you want, you need to be open to it. You need to take action. You need to declare that you're open to it. Not if you sit at home all day long or go to work, don't make any sort of connections with any of the guys that are there, and you just expect for love find you when you least expect it. That's all good and dandy in the movies, but not for a woman who is intentional about creating her own love life. There is a lot of we're going to be talking about masculine and feminine energy in the upcoming days, and you need to use your masculine energy in the right spaces. Now, I'm not saying go get the bull by the horn and go and start hitting on guys and take action and ask guys out. No. But in order for you to actually, you need to be taking some actions. And in that sense, is to start meeting men one way or the other. That's one thing. The second thing would be that your antenna, your man picker, is you say that this is what you want. You've put the coordinates in your GPS. This is what I want. This is the kind of man I desire to have. This is the type of guy that I want. And then you keep turning at all the wrong ways. And what I mean by that is that you say you want an emotionally available man, and you get all the butterflies, all the sparks with a guy that comes in hot and then withdraws. And that activates you. That makes you want more. You say you want a guy that is a provider, he's financially stable, and then you meet a guy and he's super handsome and he is charming and he makes you laugh and he has the same interest as you and he wants to go 50-50 on dates. And you're like, that's okay. That's that. Or it doesn't, it's not okay. I don't want that, but it's one thing. Look at all the other stuff. And that's that. When in your love list, or when we were talking about the kind of a safety feeling that you want, the kind of a consistency that you want, a financially stable or provider that you want, was there, he makes me feel, this excitement. And that's what I want to go to next. A lot of women mistake spark with love and the potentiality for a love story. And I'm not saying that the minute that you feel chemistry with a man, that it means it's a red flag. But I highly want to invite you to understand that a spark is not a green flag. It is not something that needs to be on the top of your list when you want to find a husband. Why is that? Who can tell me here, if you've been around me before, that why is spark and chemistry not the key that you need to be looking for? So, because there may be a lag and all that, I don't want to keep you waiting for too long, but I want you to contemplate this and still keep the chat going, is that the reason that we feel that there is a spark, when we feel a spark with a man, it is the familiar feeling that a lot of times we have felt in our younger days, meaning that it feels familiar to us when a man creates a spark in you. And if you have been either in your childhood or later in life with a man that made you feel one way one day and another way another day, he had this feeling of today, this unpredictable excitement that which side I'm going to get today. Am I going to get love and attention, or am I going to get a cold shoulder? And if I get a cold shoulder, what do I need to do in order to make it warm and fuzzy again? That unavailable person that makes you think about him all day and all night, makes you anxious that you want to check your phone all the time to see whether or not he's texted you. You can't stop talking about him to your friends. You can't function at work properly. You're always thinking and wondering where he's at. That is that causes a lot of spark for women, especially if you know this term, an anxious attachment style, meaning that majority of times, anxious attachment style, it's a huge concept. I'm not going to go into that today. You can read a book called Attached to understand it, but you can easily find yourself, because I really resonated with that attachment style, is that when it comes to dating and relationships, what you normally tend to feel is an anxiousness if he's going to call you, if he wants to see you again, if he withdraws, you feel anxiety around it, and you have that feeling that gets activated within you quite a bit, as opposed to the avoidant attachment style, that is more so that when someone is getting so close, you withdraw. Like if I need time, I need space, I need to just distract myself. That's more of that sense. The shutting down is the avoidant, but the anxious is more like, don't leave me, don't go. When are you going to come back again? When are you going to be paying attention to me again? What do I need to do to catch your attention again? So, in that regards, a lot of women will feel that spark with the type of guy that is going to be inconsistent, because that feels familiar to them. We are attracted to what's familiar to us if we haven't done our healing work, if we haven't actually let ourselves to feel drawn to stability, to steady energy, to security, but more so we are in that sense of, I really need to be feeling that butterflies. I need to feel that chemistry, that spark with a guy that's going to be, and you tend to find stable and steady men boring. It is really painful. You're absolutely right. It's very painful to feel excited and disappointed, and 99.9% of the times it always ends up the same way, that it's the disappointment that lasts, and it's all done. That the kind of guy that you romanticized and you built up, and it felt so exciting and so good around, when you're around him it feels really, really good, but when you're not together, you never know really where you stand with him. So that is the number one thing, that if you are looking to find a high quality man, attract a man that is really going to build a life with you, your North Star cannot be spark and chemistry. Your North Star has to be your values that you need to have in common with your future partner in order for your relationship to actually work. And this is something that, aside from how you feel in a relationship, which I mentioned before, how do you feel? Say, we go into that in a second. But most importantly, you deciding, what do you value in life? What is it that you need to, with your partner, need to be on common ground in order to sustain a relationship, to have a relationship with? Do you value marriage? Then of course you need to be looking for someone who values marriage, not casual dating. Do you value family? You want to be close with your family, you want a man that is family oriented, then of course you need to be looking for a man that has the capability to have a relationship with his family, that he is family oriented, that he wants to have a family. Do you have values when it comes to your religion, to your spirituality? Is it important to you? It is really important to you that that person shares that value if you want to bring children into this world, or if you are like, I really need to be able to practice my spirituality and I need somebody that is on board with that, and either we share the same thing, that could be one value system, or it could be that that person has their own spirituality, religion, whatever it is, but that is something that grounds us. And we know that there is a higher power. I'm not making one right or one wrong, but when you know your own value system, is when you actually can build a relationship with someone. You can never really be fully happy with somebody that if you value honesty in a relationship and they're like, no, that's not really that big of a deal. You'd be surprised that when it comes to full transparency and honesty, a lot of people will be like, no, that's not something that I'm just a private person, or that's none of your business. That person doesn't value honesty and transparency in a relationship. Do you want to build a life with that person? When it comes to someone's finances, when it comes to the whole provider and being somebody that takes care of his family, a lot of men out there don't believe in that. They say, I'm looking for an independent woman, boss queen, that has her own bank account and I have my own, and we just put money into 50-50 into this account for our expenses, and that's that. That's the truth of it. Doesn't matter if I agree or disagree with it, but there are men that are like that. And there are women that are completely okay with that. But chances are, if you're here and listening to me, you desire to have a provider type of a man energy. You want a man that no matter how much money you make, he wants to be the one that contributes the most, if not at all of it. And he wants to be taking care of you. He wants to be in that role. So your finances with a man, it is important that you go through those values together. So one of the things that I really want you to be looking at today, number one, is getting clear on your dream man, the kind of guy that you want. What is he like? How does he make you feel? When you envision, not just on dates and first and second and third date, because every single person is going to be on their best behavior. Real people are going to be on their best behavior on the first few dates with you. Normally, and it's not an act. I always say that it's not a person. I'm not talking about people with narcissism or anything like that. Not that. But majority of normal human beings, because their serotonin, dopamine, all of that is high when they're meeting a new woman, they are going to be on their best behavior, same as you when you meet somebody. So that's why I always say that the first 3 months of any dating in a relationship doesn't really mean anything, because that's how long it takes for all of that chemistry stuff, the chemical stuff to drop, and for the triggers to show up, all the things that he did do on those 3 months may feel so awesome to you, and then when he's no longer that excited because of all that chemistry anymore, I'm talking about emotionally unavailable men, then it drops significantly, and then your triggers show up, his triggers show up. So I want you to envision a man that you are with in the next 20 years from now. How do you want to feel in your marriage? What matters to you the most? Because the decisions that you're making right now need to be in alignment on what you want 20 years from now. If you want a man that is a consistent king, a provider, a man that makes you feel safe, that during a stressful time, he's there for you 20 years from now, what you need to be looking for and putting in your desires list is that type of a man, that he is going to be there for me when I need him, that he is a problem solver and he wants to make my life easier, that I can actually have conversations with him that are emotionally mature. One of the biggest things that I invite all of you, if you haven't already, is to say, I desire a man that is solution oriented. What do I mean by that? Is that, of course, you're going to have disagreements with any man in your life. I have them with my husband. But what are we oriented? We are oriented to find the solution, not in being right, not winning a fight, but that are we are always oriented to come back and repair, come back and find what can we do about this. If you, a lot of you, let me know in the chat if it feels true for you that you dated men that when something happens, they just want to push it aside and not talk about it and forget about it. There are things that don't need to be talked to death, but there is that, and then there is avoidance, avoiding a problem, avoiding an important conversation, avoiding he did something that hurt your feelings and he just wants you to forget about it and let's just go out and have a good time instead of actually trying to fix it. Being solution oriented and having a repair mindset is a key and an important element of a sustainable marriage, a marriage that will thrive over time, not fall apart. Let me say what you're all saying. Not me for my marriage with a real man. At what point do we have I want to be provided for talk, even if you have a well-paying job? I love that question. So this is stuff that I'm going to be talking about quite a bit in a Track the One journey, but your values, you get to speak about them in the first 3 dates. Now, there's a difference to come into that conversation with an entitled energy and say that I want a man that provides for me, and I want a man that always takes care of finances. But there's a difference is that I'm looking for my life partner, and one of the things in my value system is that my husband, my future husband, is really the one that loves to take care of his family and provide for his family. That's what I admit feels right to me. That feels good to me, and I want to be completely honest with you. And I would love to know what you think of that. You're not saying, "Are you a provider?" You're not saying that even though like you're not making it about him. You're talking about what you want, and I'm going to teach you a lot about how to have conversations that don't make a man defensive, but actually is an invitation, because now he has the capacity and the room and space to think, is that me or it's not me? A lot of times women are like, I want to be pursued. I want to be the one that the guy calls me. I want to be the one that he always initiates contacts. Me too. I love that very much. But I looked for a man who also loves doing that, because not every single man is going to want to do it. Not every guy is going to be wanting to be the initiator. Some men love it, and there are feminine energy men out there that they don't. And we're not here to make them right or wrong. But if that's what you want, that's what you need to be seeing, that if that's something that he wants to do. Is that something that you like to do? Is that something that you're happy to do in a relationship? You don't want to make someone do something that they don't want to do. You don't want to find a man that doesn't want to pay on dates and you make him pay on dates and you fight with him, or you put up with the fact that he doesn't, and you go 50-50 and resent him. No, it's just not a match. And that's okay. And this is the part that I really want you to start. If you become really clear on what you want and because when you know what you want, you know what you don't want. And when you're presented with what you don't want, sometimes you don't know that. Are like, no, 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 I don't want that. But when you do know that, then you become really, when you know your value systems and you know your must haves, these are the things that I need to have in a relationship for me to be in a happy marriage. I need to feel safe. I need to feel like one of my value system is talking to each other with utmost respect, even if we are fighting. And if we can't control that, we take a step back. It was a huge of importance for me that we don't ever cross that line of cursing each other or saying demeaning things to one another. It was of highest importance to me. So I paid attention to a guy that I was dating, how he talked about his ex, because that's very telling of how my future is going to go when we have disagreements together. So when you know what you want, when you know these are the things that I must have, when someone is a clear no to that, if somebody that you want to get married, he says, I'm not looking for something serious right now. Boom, you drop that. He's not for you. He's not for you. Good luck to him. There is plenty of women that are looking for casual thing. That's not you. But it doesn't mean just because he paid attention to you and went on a date with you and made you laugh and he has a really cute smile and a really good job, that means that you need to now ignore that and make him fall in love with you and change his mind. That's when women lose so much of their precious time, their precious energy, and it's defeating because what does that do? I was in that situation for years with different men. That day I auditioned to be wife. I tried so hard to change their minds, to pick me, to choose me for the rest of their life. And what that does is that it eats away at your self esteem because somehow you made it about you. You thought challenge accepted. You don't want to get married now, but if you get to know me, if I show you how much your life is going to be better with me in it, how much I make your life more meaningful and the way I will love you, oh my God, nobody will ever love you the way that I do. So you can't possibly live without me. I'm going to heal all of your commitment issues with my love. I'm going to give you everything that your mother and father didn't give you and your exes didn't give you. You pay attention to their problems, what they point out about their exes, and you make sure that you don't do any of those things that their exes did so that you are winning. I'm not doing what his ex did, so he's going to think that I'm the one. It eats away at your self esteem, it eats away at your precious time and energy, and it reiterates the thoughts, those beliefs in you that I'm not good enough. After all of this, if I've given him all of me, I've loved him so unconditionally, I put up with everything. Hello, martyr archetype. That was my story. Who can resonate with that? After all that I did for you, I was still not good enough for you. I felt that somehow, somewhere, it was on me. And even if he spent 2 years with me, 3 years with me, that he still doesn't want to get married. And now years of my life have gone by, and now I'm older, Now, I love him so much. Obviously, the more you invest your energy into a relationship, you're going to be more attached to that person. It just gets harder and harder. However, if you drop the guy when he tells you, because that's the good thing about most men, us women, and I'm generalizing here, but I'm talking about majority. Us women, we have mistaken, trigger warning, being weak for being nice. What do I mean by that? When we don't tell a person the truth of what we want in fear of either them losing interest or hurting their feelings. So we withhold the truth because we feel weak that I can't hold it if you're mad at me. I can't hold it if you don't want to be without me, break up with me and don't want to see me again. If I tell you clearly that I'm looking for a financially stable man, I'm looking for a man to spend the rest of my life with. And if that's not what you're looking for, and you're like, nah, she's not the one for me, I was just looking for someone to just have fun with, then we hold that back. Men, on the other hand, haven't been brought up that they need to protect other people's feelings and compromise their truth. They say it more directly than what it is. And they say it and they mean it. But a lot of times, we're getting a little deep here, we project. Because I would never do that. I would never say that. I mean, if I would never be that direct, or sometimes I say things that I don't mean, he must not mean it. He's just saying it. No. Take a guy's word at face value. When he's telling you, especially now, don't get me wrong. There is a guy that will tell you, yeah, I want to get married too. Yeah. I want to have 3 kids as well. Yeah. I really love an independent woman. Yeah. No, I love a confident woman. But 3 months, you spend some time with him and his actions don't match what he said. Pay attention to those. When a man tells you the things that you want to hear, receive it, love it, enjoy it. That's cool. However, pay attention if his actions actually are going to follow. But if a man from the get go, from the beginning, tells you that he's not looking for his wife right now, he's just going to see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. Down the line, maybe not right now, believe him. If when it comes to the value system, if he doesn't believe in religion and it's important to you, leave. If he doesn't believe that being in a family setting, that taking care of family is important to you and it's not to him, believe him. If he says he doesn't want kids and you want kids, believe him. This is going to save you years of heartbreak, of wasted time and energy, and invested love that you will feel for this person, and move towards what you actually want. I see a lot of comments. Let me go through them and keep them coming, ladies. I want to wake up to a man I fully look up to and admire and is safe. I love that you want him to feel safe and you have that admiration for. The only tweak that I'm going to make here, my love, and I know it could be a figure of speech here as well, but this is something that I learned from like a very early on from my coach, my big first coach, Rory Ray. That was that when you look up to someone, how are they looking at you? They're looking. If you're looking up, that means they're above. Then they have to look down to you. And that, like I said, it could be a figure of speech. I'm just using this as an example to teach other people that don't look for a guy that is above you in any sort of way and you feel in any sort of way that you're less than, definitely find a man that you can learn from. That's a beautiful thing, because when someone has something to teach you, it doesn't mean they're above you. They have gone through something that's more in depth than you have, and it's a beautiful thing, and vice versa works as well. But sometimes women put men on a pedestal, and they start to really think that he was such a catch, and all the other women wanted him. He gets to be an incredibly well-rounded in every way that you admire. And admiration is important, but just remember that you're on par, and what you bring to the table and what he brings to the table, it's a beautiful table that gets to be completed, and both of you are needed. Yes, yes, someone who takes problems through and not go silent. So important, so important. I always get scared of when a man is very enthusiastic about me. So that can, my love, it could be two things. If a man on a first date or second date or third date is talking about marrying you, get scared. Not about getting married, but marrying you. That's where our love bombers come. When they don't know you. They have no idea what you're about. You don't know what what you bring to the table. They have no idea. They just see the beautiful woman that you are, and it may be that they know how successful you are, and they feel your energy. That's awesome. But they haven't discovered your values. They haven't discovered what you stand for. They haven't figured out when you're stressed how you deal with that. They haven't discovered how you problem solve. And if they are just like they are going full on about you, and are love bombing and saying, that's a red flag for sure. Now, a guy, this includes my husband, may know from the very beginning that you're the one for him. In a lot of cases, my husband was. My husband went all in for me. However, he made sure that he got to know me. He made sure he didn't love bomb me. He didn't try to make me think that, he's found, like, this was something that I learned actually much later, that he had felt that way about me. But he still got to know me to reaffirm that is this assessment, is initial feeling true. Now, if you're dating someone and he's acting in all the right ways, and he's complimenting you and is excited about you, and you go through things and it feels good, and is enthusiastic because you're a kick-ass woman and has gotten to know you, and if you get scared, then that very well could be a fear of rejection, a fear of intimacy, fear of being vulnerable, which you need to work on. Oh, wow. I love the insight that committing ourselves to a man who's unavailable, that women often think challenge accepted. This resonates. It eats away at self-worth and confidence. Absolutely. It did that for me so much. How do we know they are not trying to please me with agreements at the beginning versus actually knowing they follow through? Give it a 3 months. Date them and date multiple men. We're going to be talking about dating queen. I think it's tomorrow. Date multiple men. When you're not focused on one man and one man only, your first and foremost, your attraction level goes off the charts. You're healing more, because actually circular dating is one of the most helpful healing tools that there ever is, because especially if you are working on your healing in such as attractive one journey, because you're reflecting, you're gonna get a formula in attractive one to know exactly what to do after each date. That is gonna help you with the healing. I think, Sonia, you can attest to that if you are here still. And really date for expansion. Date for becoming more and more of the greatest version of who you are, because you attract who you are, not what you want. And you observe. If you are not losing time with one guy at a time. If you're not invested all in with one guy and you're dating three, four guys at the same time, and you hear what he has to say, and you're like, awesome, I love that. Now, on the inside, you see, let's see. You have the let's see attitude. I love that. Let's see. You don't say that out loud. I'm going to actually assess whether or not you follow through. But you will. You will find out. When he says he wants to see you again, he can't wait to see you again. Does he make sure that he books you for the next date? When he says he's going to be there, is he going to be there? When he says that he can't wait to show you off to his friends and family, see if he actually is going to introduce you to his family and friends. But when you are only dating him, you're anxious about it. When is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? But if you're not anxious about it and you're leaned back and observing, oof, the power that you have in that dynamic and the wisdom that comes through, because you're not anxious because there's only one man, there's multiple men that want you. All right. Replace the word someone to look up to with a man I respect. Yes. Ooh. I love that. That's it. A man that you respect, because that's the man that you want. You know, I forgot where I heard this from, but it really changed the paradigm in me. When I was still single, that they told me, pick a man that if you ever have a son with him, you want him to be just like him. That needs to be the kind of man that you go for. You want your son that because that's what's going to happen, he is going to be the role model for him. Do you want your son to be like him? And that really changed it. That, of course, if I want to have a man, that if I want to have a son, then he needs to be showing me the qualities that I want him to have. And that really shifted things for me. I don't want my son to be a player. I don't want my son to be dishonest. I don't want my son to not be accountable. I want a conscious man to show my son what a conscious man looks like, feels like. I want a man that chooses his words wisely, that has work ethics, that is a provider, that shows how to treat women. And that changed a lot for me. The famous questions after the date. Yes, yes, yes. So we're getting close to the 1 hour top, so I don't want to take too much of your time. So this is what you're going to do today. You are going to write out the kind of a man that you desire to have. Get clear on your dream man, of how he makes you feel. What are the values that he has that you want to have in a relationship? And you can use this last edit of it, that if you had a son with him, what are the qualities that you want that man to show your son? And really start looking at this as your North Star in your dating, so that when somebody shows up, you are not going to be writing in your what do you call it, list, that he has to have a good handwriting. So you don't get to write a man off that he doesn't have a good handwriting. Yeah, you get to have that. I'm physically attracted to this man. Of course, I'm not against it. I'm not saying that no, date a man that is, you can't even. No, but be in congruency with him. Do not, if you want to take one thing from me here, is that do not write, I feel so excited with him. If you're a woman that has gone for excitement, chemistry, and spark, and you're still single, I love you so much. This is why. This is why. The reason that you're still single, if you have been single, is that you have gone for excitement and you have written emotionally available men that treat you well, that they are consistent and they want to give to you. You label them as boring. You just don't feel it with them. You just don't feel it with them. It's only because your internal system now you have mistaken love and relationships with a sense of excitement, and that's what needs to be there in order for you to be happy. 20 years from now, you're not going to be looking to be excited for a guy. You're going to look for to be in a stable rock relationship. Dating for expansion, yes. Ashamed to admit it, I did not realize circular dating can actually heal us. Also ashamed that I have never actually tried to circular date. Thank you. Let that let that shame wash over you. You don't need to feel shame around it. You first and foremost, you didn't do what you didn't know. You didn't know that the circular dating heals. It really does. Second of all, it is like I said in yesterday that there could be trauma around it. You're like, I can't. If I have a lot of men around me, there may be a feeling of unsafety around it. When I have had multiple clients that have felt that if there are too many men giving them attention and I have to reject one because I have trauma around being rejected, I don't want to reject any man. I don't want to make them feel bad, so I don't want to do it. Or when it was receiving from multiple men, who am I to receive from that many men? So you can, I never say don't feel that shame and let be gone, let it wash over you, and now you get to start differently, my love. How about women who don't have much dating experience? I'm 31 and intimidated by the idea of dating, never been in a relationship. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that because you actually have a cleaner slate. And not that one is better than the other, but there is strength in both. There is a strength in learning from our experiences, and then there is a strength in not having all these past wounds around something or fear of it happening again. And that's totally okay. That's totally okay. If you decide to join us in Attract the One Journey, I'm going to teach you to date like a queen. Tomorrow, I'm also going to be talking about dating like a queen. So don't worry about that. And there is, not that you need to join Attract the One Journey. That is something that it feels right to you, but stick around me, you're going to learn. There is so much strength in that and getting start off with the knowledge. Yes, so much. So this is the stuff that, honest to God, ladies, my prayer is that 20-year-olds start to listen to, because these are the stuff that, like I said yesterday, in the East they tried to teach us, and there is limitations, of course. There is, I'm not putting the Eastern culture up on a pedestal and West, and no, I'm not doing that, but there is some really really good stuff that if we were to implement it correctly at the younger age, that it really could have advanced us. However, I also believe that we go through our journey the way that we are meant to. I believe wholeheartedly, if I hadn't gone through all the heartbreaks that I did, all the experiences that I went through, then I wouldn't be a relationship coach right now. I would, not understand the pain of women that they are going through, and I wouldn't have been able to help them. And it is, I'll get emotional now. It is the greatest joy of my life to be able to help women that tell me every day in messages or in my Voxer messages how happy they are, how grateful they are for the work that we do together, and now they have the relationship of their dreams. It's such a privilege that I never take for granted. I never take for granted when I get pictures of my clients with their babies. They were completely single and now they are mothers. They were completely single and now they've been, celebrating their year after year marriages. It means the world to me. And I think that if I hadn't gone through my own experiences, I wouldn't have been, not that those women wouldn't be in their marriages, but I get to be a part of their journey. And it just means the world to me. And that goes for all of you. No matter what your past has been, we can learn, we can embody, and we can be an example for future generations if you decide to be mothers for your daughters, for your nieces, for the younger girls that are going to watch you, because that's what we learn and that's how we learn. All right. Uh, Oh, I love that. I love that so much. That is so beautiful. Dating for values is the best. It is so true. I 100% believe it. Okay, my loves, let's close today's conversation around this. I'm going to go into the few questions that I got about attract the one journey that we are doing, the two packages. So if you feel done and complete, I love you so much. I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. But if you want to stick around to talk about attract the one journey, whether you purchased it already, yay, or you're thinking about it, like I said at the beginning, because I want to answer your questions, I haven't taken off the discount. It will go off tonight. It will be, we're not going full price. There's still going to be a discount until the second last day, but I just wanted to give you more a chance of telling you about it. So some of you have said, what is the benefits of doing the somatic healing sessions? What is it exactly like? So when we are doing somatic healing sessions, what I'm going to be teaching you is to safely, in a safe environment, invite yourself to process the feelings that used to be too much and overwhelming for you, whether you were a child or whether you have been in older ages, have gone through something that has been traumatic, to safely process and let them go. A lot of us, because a feeling, we don't feel safe to feel something, we suppress it, we push it down. Think about it like an illness, God forbid, an actual illness. Then a lot of people start to feel something, but in fear of finding out what it could be, that they put off going to the doctor because they were so afraid to learn it. So they ignore it because they can't fathom getting that news and having to deal with it. It's an example. It might not be the best example, but that's what essentially it is. There's a lot of frozen feelings in our bodies that make us feel unconsciously, or it's beliefs that we hold on to make us feel safe, because that really is what we humans, we want to feel safe. So if we can't feel safe, you're going to push it down and shove it down and not deal with it as long as we can, so that we don't get our nervous system all out of sort. And that's why if you have any sort of numbing agent in your life, whether it is binge eating, whether it is binge watching TV, whether it is binge social media, whatever it is that numbs you from feeling, is what's causing you to not deal with a certain emotion, because there is this unconsciousness that is too much. I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that right now. I don't want to go deal with that. And so it's that. So when we're doing somatic healing work, which is I'm teaching you how to safely feel your feelings and let them go, because that is the only way that we can actually heal from suppressed stuff, is to heal. To feel is to heal. To feel what is no longer serving you is the only way that you can actually release it and let it go and allow for healing to come. So that's what we're going to be doing. There will be 3 sessions. These sessions are about an hour and a half long. So it gives you a big capacity for you to really go through it and do it safely. And I will, there's a part of me that is super fierce, and I will tell you the truth. And I'll also like to pride myself in that I can really hold that loving space for women, because we heal in love. We heal when we are seen. We heal when we are having that safe container that holds us. And as women, I know we hold so much. We do so much. We help a lot of people. And sometimes we need to be held. We need to be held in love in order for it to heal. So that's what we're going to be doing. They will be held on Zoom. You will have the recording, but only the ones that get the full package. Like I said, we're talking about the somatic healings that are in this full package. You will have access to it, so you can rewatch it and redo it and really listen to it. There is not much to watch. I will be showing you tools demonstrating them for you before we get into them so you can actually apply them within. But most of the time, if it feels safe for you, you'll have your eyes closed. You don't have to. Sometimes some people feel more unsafe to close their eyes. You get to do that. I'll go through all of that with you, but it'll be 3 sessions, one an hour to 90 minutes, and you will have lifetime access to them, and you will have this massive wealth of knowledge of to know how to deal with your suppressed feelings and emotions and trauma. Now, that is for the full package. Oh, and you will also have the 90 minutes coaching session. I say 90 minutes, it could very well be a few hours. I'm going to make sure that every single person who is in the full package and has a question and wants to be coached by me is going to get that time with me. You can send your questions in advance if you can't join us live, or you can come on and talk to me on Zoom, and I'm going to coach you and I'm going to help you, and it's going to be fantastic. That will be at the end of when all the 7 modules are completed, when the somatic healings are completed. So now you have a new awareness, new consciousness, and whatever coaching that you need is going to be completely different from when you start. This is the full package. The full package, of course, comes with all the modules that I'm going to be releasing in the Attract the One Journey course. And the Attract the One Journey course is also the updated, upgraded version of what I did in 2019. But there is a lot of stuff that I go deeper in now. That course alone, the old version of it alone, like I said yesterday, has led from reported 42 reported. There may be more. There may be more of marriages and actual like proposals and beautiful relationships. And so some of them were the start of something of their journey. So they started with that, and then they did private coaching with me. But a lot of women, just by the course alone, have been able to get engaged, get married, which brings me so much joy, so much joy. And if that's what you want to do, you're not interested in doing the somatic healing, if it's something that your gut is saying, no, don't want it, don't need it, not ready for it, whatever it is, we honor that. I just want a course. I want to take my time and go through it the way that I want to. And that's there for you as well. But I'm revamping it. All the modules are going to be more expanded and new consciousness, new tools are going to be. They will have worksheets. They will have meditations and breath work for some of them that will help you, again, with your healing journey as well. So that is that. So we have the links in the description box for you. They're also in the email that I sent out yesterday. So if you want to go ahead and grab it from there, I am so excited to welcome you in. The modules, I believe I mentioned it yesterday, but I got a question again, will start dropping on October 30th. So you're not going to get all of it all at once. One thing that I have learned from working with women for way too long is to know that they're like, yeah, this is great. And they start binge watching it. And while binge watching is fine, but sometimes they don't come back and do the work. They don't integrate. They're like, yeah, I heard that before. I did that before. And so they're skipping and they're excited and they want to go ahead. And sometimes that does a lot of disservice. So I want to go at a pace that will help you to listen, do the work, integrate, and then we keep moving forward. That way it's more potent and it helps you more. All right, ladies. That's it for today. I love you so much. If there are any other questions, please send them to me, send them to my team. They will be happy to help you. And I cannot wait to see what you come up with. Have your North Star. Have the kind of a man, your dream man in front of you. If you don't know where you're going, where are you even going? If you don't know what you're looking for, how are you going to know if the guy that is in front of you is in alignment or it's not? So it's really important to do it and put it in the comments. I love reading your comments and all the stuff that you sent me. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, my loves.